Hello again. Welcome back to the Movie Buff Reactions channel. Today I'm going to be doing something a little different than what I usually do here on this channel. Today's video is somewhat of a reaction, but it's also a tribute. As many B-movie exploitation, just filmmaking buffs in general have probably heard in the past few weeks, the king of B-movie cinema, Roger Corman, sadly passed away at the very old age of 98, and he was still working to the very end. I don't know what to say other than that I fucking love Roger Corman. He made so many enjoyable movies, and as many know, he gave so many iconic filmmakers their earliest jobs, from Francis Ford Coppola to James Cameron, Joe Dante, Jonathan Demme, of course, Martin Scorsese, baby. And there are so many movies of his that, like, I was always that weird film buff kid, even when I was in elementary school. I was really into the Universal monster classics, and I wanted to see everything Boris Karloff did, which eventually led to me just pulling this off my shelf, getting this cheap public domain set of some of Karloff's films, which included The Terror, which Roger Corman directed, and that then led to me wanting to see The Little Shop of Horrors, the original Little Shop of Horrors from 1960, and I got, for Christmas, when I was like 10 or 11, this VHS copy that makes it look like Jack Nicholson's the fucking star, which, if you've seen it, you know he's not, but it's a very fun film. The remake, better known musical, is a lot of fun, but the original has its own schlocky charm. It's very well done some parts, and even though he's not the star, Jack Nicholson definitely stole the whole film in his less than 5 minutes of screen time. And once I was old enough, from the high school years, I started collecting as many DVDs as I could. I have many more, but they're on the shelf. And for today, I thought I'd react to a review of one of Corman's properties, and I was considering reacting to a video by Brandon Tenold, because he's covered a few Corman productions, and I love Brandon, but his reviews are mostly of the movies Roger Corman produced. And I thought I want to look at something like a review of something that he directed. So I'm going to be reacting today, for the first time ever, to this channel called Dark Corners Reviews. And I've seen a few of this guy's videos, and they're pretty cool. They're short, sweet, to the point, a lot of fun. And I have at one point seen this particular video, but it's been a couple of years, so I don't remember much of it. So in a way, I guess it's a re-reaction. This is Dark Corners Reviews, takedown on both Roger Corman's Gnaw of This Earth from 1957 and its 1988 remake starring Tracy Lords, directed by Jim Wynorski. Both movies of which I'm very familiar with. I've actually reviewed both of them over on my other channel on my show, The JMC Reviews. But enough rambling, I'm sure I've already lost a few of you. Let's jump into Dark Corners Reviews and see what they had to say about the King's, probably, in my opinion, best movie.
Read about them blood fiend, sucked the people dry, took all their blood out.
Welcome back to my dark corner of this sick world.
Look at me, look at me.
This week we're looking at two films. Roger Corman's Not of This Earth.
I'm sure I don't think anything, Mr. Johnson.
And Roger Corman's Not of This Earth.
I'm sure I don't think anything, Mr. Johnson.
1957's Not of This Earth is a pretty standard low-budget sci-fi.
Your observation is correct.
The plot follows Nurse Nadine, who is hired to look after the mysterious Mr. Johnson,
Mr. Johnson, that's a
Beverly Garland, baby.
who turns out to be an alien,
You mean the boss is some kind of man from Mars?
collecting human blood and sending it home via a floating head
Time narrows. There is death upon Havana.
to transfuse his dying species.
Dick Miller.
There's There's the requisite 50s dialogue.
Don't be a drag.
Yeah, that's the cringiest bit.
I'm hip.
The requisite anti-communist message.
It was a foreign thing coming here to destroy us.
And, because it's written by Weirdness King, Charles B. Griffith, there's also a killer alien umbrella.
This is actually a pretty unsettling scene.
It's cheap, predictable, and the dialogue is occasionally woeful.
My eyes are alien. Look at them.
I think we've discussed this sufficiently.
But we probably wouldn't bother with it if not for one thing.
And I think we've discussed that sufficiently.
In 1988, Jim Wynorski bet that he could remake the film for the same budget, inflation adjusted, and Corman produced the remake.
I think he cheated a bit, Wynorski.
They seem to have decided that the cheapest way to do this was to copy the original.
Uh-huh.
Shot for shot.
Yeah. It's unbelievable how much it copies the original.
Line for line.
Oh no, he's having a fast pine on the fly, no test.
Oh no, he's having a fast pine on the fly, no test.
Oversized costume for oversized costume.
Where'd you pick up the car?
How many times I gotta tell you, not saying as long as you know how to drive.
And even meal for meal.
Gotta appreciate
And
attention to
it's not just the
detail.
57 version that's giving you a sense of deja vu. That's humanoids from the deep.
Yeah!
I don't mean this is a similar scene. They're reusing the footage and then cunningly changing the actress for the last shot.
And not very well either.
Elsewhere,
Hey, but you're freaking me out. Come on, look at that.
that's Hollywood Boulevard.
Mm-hmm.
We shall all perish.
Galaxy of Terror.
Terror. The opening credits are a montage of 8 different Roger Corman films.
Okay, lighten up.
Worse still, Wynorski cuts the alien umbrella.
Your observation is correct.
And the floating head has become a refugee from an 80s soft rock band.
Time
Rob Zombie?
Death upon Devon.
So, did he add anything worth seeing?
It's a rather
Well.
isn't it?
Tracy Lords was a porn star looking to break into the mainstream, so a film for Roger Corman was a step up.
The
On
only
the other hand,
But it's not exactly
legal movie you can see where she appears naked.
but at least she doesn't have to deal with that dodgy porn dialogue.
You know I like a copper whose pistol's always fully loaded.
Yeah,
This
right.
is the same film, but with added sex.
This whole thing has the sound of something
Lots
very-
and lots.
So Nadine's swimming costume goes from this to this.
Mmm.
The cheesy dialogue
Hey, I've got a hook and line inside. Maybe I ought to go get it, huh?
I'm afraid, Jeremy, you just haven't got the right bait.
gets an extra line added.
I'm afraid you just haven't got the right bait, Jeremy.
Shouldn't say things like that until you see the size of my fishing pole.
In the 57, Mr. Johnson meets 3 gentlemen.
Those aren't gentlemen, those are bums.
In the 88,
This was a predictable change.
he meets 3 women.
Women boss their hookers.
In the 88, Mr. Johnson transports to his home planet a strippogram who came to the wrong house.
This is a kind of original bit.
She is typical of the Earth's subhumans.
In the 57, it's a Chinese man he bumped into on the street.
I have brought this better.
And the opening scene of the couple parking
Here, if my father dug this scene, he'd put small round holes in your head.
suddenly gets a lot heavier.
I said not
Well,
there.
of course.
I didn't say not there.
This was the last time Tracy Lords agreed to appear topless, so she was clearly uncomfortable with it.
Now pack your clothing.
But you won't need it. There is an air of gratuitousness that hangs over this movie.
Infantile attitude, Doctor.
On the other hand, intentionally or not, it is occasionally hilarious.
Agreed.
Dining. Out.
That's got to be intentional.
Yeah.
Better get an ophthalmologist.
Yeah, someone get this corpse an eye doctor.
Joke?
But they save the biggest joke for last. Yeah, right.
I'm not so sure.
Okay, this time it worked out a bit sleazy, but is there a classic era cult film that would benefit from a sexed up remake? Leave us your sexy ideas in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you're watching this without subscribing, you're essentially a thief.
Night, night, Jeremy. Sweet dreams.
How about, a porno version of Attack of the Crab Monsters, only this time it's like STDs. Yeah, that was, there were some fun bits there. I disagree a lot about the original Not of This Earth, but I can understand. It is low budget, but for me personally, the original, the 1957 version, I actually really enjoy it and I really admire it, and there are some legit chilling moments. The remake, I do kind of find enjoyable. I think it's bad, but it's enjoyable. Next to my review of it, I also, last year, on my main channel, did a video called The Top 10 Rewatchable Bad Movies, and Not of This Earth from 1988 was on the list. Jim Wynorski. His bet with Roger Corman, I'm not sure it's fair to say he won, because about 10-15% of this movie is just stock footage from other Corman films, so can you really say that he made a full film? And as for the original, as cheesy as it can be at times, I feel it had a stellar cast, particularly with Beverly Garland as Nadine Story. She was just an amazing old-time actress, and Tracy Lords couldn't mimic her, but she was hot. And there was another remake in the 90s, but from what I've seen, it seems like even more of a downgrade. So this is my first video doing something with the Dark Corners Reviews channel. I enjoyed it. I didn't agree with everything, but I enjoyed it, and it's cool seeing it. One of the funnest aspects with the 1988 version is comparing it to the original, seeing what matches, what doesn't, and this guy made the best of his short time, and as I said, I've seen a couple of his other reviews, and while they may be short, he definitely gets to the point, and hope everybody else is paying good tribute to Roger Corman, maybe checking out one or two of his productions, and hope many more generations get to gorge on, enjoy his movies, and his many alumni. Hope they continue making many more films down the road, and so I have to say, just, we knew it was coming. He was 98, but like Sean Connery, there's some people you just forget that they're human, and you think they're gonna live forever. And I will see you again, hopefully soon.